Ladies and gentlemen, okay. Notice because the clock, and it was after 10 o'clock while I was going through some files, which I will try to address tomorrow. I want to play some audio files for my subscribers from the past, and I can't locate them. I have them. I know I have them, but I can't locate them. So there is a fellow named Dennis Adams. If Dennis comes on, he might have some ability to tell me how to find the files, and I can shoot you off an email. They are audio files that I downloaded off my phone, and I don't know how to retrieve them. I know they're in the computer or in a hard drive, and that's why I didn't get a chance to post a live stream update. So today I'm going to talk about, and you people can agree or disagree, or you can go eat crap and go bark at the moon. I am just about completely fed up, as is everyone else, with Trump. Okay? Now, a lot of people think I don't like Trump, and I really don't like Trump. So you're right. But I'm going to tell you that everybody had a lot more respect for him when they thought he was going to tell you the truth. So far, he hasn't done that. So when is that actually going to happen? And when I read the news, and I read the news every day, I am so disgusted. It's the same headline every day, but changed. A few words are changed. And I'll give you a for instance of the bullshit that they keep posting. Trey Gowdy. Let's take Trey Gowdy. He's like a famous guy in America. He's a piece of garbage. He's a straight up and down piece of garbage. First of all, he's a politician. Second of all, he was a judge, I think, or a district attorney or a prosecutor. Well, that goes right along with being a piece of garbage. Okay? If you've ever been through the court system, you'd know exactly what I'm telling you is correct. I could tell you about the time I got arrested for a worthless check because I got information that was proven by the bank employee that gave me the wrong information as to how long I had to wait to cancel my bank account. They were charging me, I think, $10 a month for a checking account. I had two checking accounts. One, I had my personal checking account, and I had my business checking account. And the shit they did to me was just unbelievable. It was a lousy $10 check with my telephone number on the check. And the district attorney made it like I could go to jail for 5 years for a worthless check. So going back, and in the same bank account, there was well over most people's life savings times 5. Okay, so I won't even tell you how much money was in the bank. And the district attorney made me feel like I was a piece of garbage, when in fact I was a legitimate businessman working in Key Largo with $500,000 worth of equipment sitting in my yard on $1 million property in the Florida Keys. And for a lousy $10 check, the shit they made me do was just unbelievable. And that was the district attorney. They need this fucking aura about themselves that they're somehow powerful and important. Meanwhile, the other judge, Judge Tomey, his wife just got arrested. I mean, the judge who was in the courtroom deciding how much my bail was going to be, was his wife just got arrested for selling 2 ounces of coke to an undercover narcotics agent with his son. So the wife and the son got arrested for a 2-ounce coke sale, and nothing happened to those people. Why? Because the district attorney dropped all the charges. And this is what I see in this piece of garbage named Trey Gowdy. Every day he's in the paper spouting off some kind of bullshit. And every day for fucking 8 years, every day, he's going to do this, he's going to do that, he's going to do this, he never does anything. And Judge Jeannie, she's another one. She's another one. Judge James Trey Gowdy would make a perfect fucking attorney general. Well, didn't Trump pick the perfect attorney general when he picked Jeff Sessions? The guy who does nothing? The guy who does nothing. He does fucking nothing. He hasn't done a damn thing that he's supposed to do. His hands are tied. And Judge Jeannie, blah, 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 blah. And then she goes, and if you like this dissertation, please subscribe to my face. It's all fake shit. It's all fake shit. The same kind of fake shit that Trump is posting in real life. Here. Trump can, I'm going to read the headlines from Drudge Report. Trump confronts prospect of, quote, non-stop political war, unquote, for survival. This is a fucking game to these people. How long can we drag out this total bullshit about the border wall? How long can we drag it out for? Let's drag it out until it's a moot point and America is gone and it's going fast. Let's drag this bullshit out for another 2 or 3 years. Like Trump. Now, Trump doesn't keep his fucking promises. That's all there is to it. Doesn't keep his fucking promises. Then you get these assholes on YouTube telling you to go check WikiLeaks or Snopes. These are government agencies. They work against you people. Okay, so now it's 2.5 years. It's 3 years since Trump made a promise to build the border wall. It's two years and a month since 2 years that he's been president. 2 years. But did he build the border wall? Did he do this? The question is fucking simple. Did he build a border wall? The answer is no. And he's never going to build the border wall. He's never going to build the border wall. They're going to drag this shit out until the next election, and then he's either going to lose or retire, and they're never going to build a fucking border wall. Get that through your heads. And here's proof. He wanted 25. No, he lies about everything. First of all, let's just start out. Trump lies about everything. Okay. He was going to put Hillary Clinton in jail. Never did that. Even though there was more corrupt evidence on Hillary Clinton, of Hillary Clinton's corruption and her fraudulent, whatever they have. She has some sort of fraudulent thing. I forget the name of it. There's so much shit I read this morning. I forget the name of it. Her fraudulent, whatever. She has 125. Oh, the Clinton Foundation has $125 million. She has in the Clinton Foundation, but they don't produce anything. So it was all money given for graft and for the Uranium One, which is gone. What happened to the Uranium One that everybody had this big problem that they sold 20% of the United States uranium? It's gone. She did that. She got away with it. She collected $50 million in the name of gifts and funds to her account. This is fucking crazy what they're doing to you people. You people out there are dumber than dog shit if you believe what's in the paper. If you believe that next month the problem is going to be solved, or next week this is going to be over. This is total bullshit. And they're doing it. They're slowly slipping it in. Everybody's low boot. Everybody's taking it hard. The people who pay taxes are being raped because their taxes are going to illegal immigration. Trump knows this. He's done nothing about this. He's going to build a wall. Let's just talk about Trump's bullshit border wall. That's what I should have named this video. Trump's bullshit border wall. He was going to stop all illegal immigration. That was his campaign promise. That was his fucking promise. And he didn't do that. He was also, so we'll get to that in a minute. He was also going to demand that illegal voter fraud registration cards were going to be built. There was going to be a system built around illegal voter fraud. He never did it. It was the simplest of all of his promises to keep. He is the fucking problem, not the solution. He is just a better version of Obama, or what I call Trump is Obama 2.0. He never fixed the illegal voter fraud. And now when Congress, this is all total bullshit, this news that you're now when Congress is now changing over to the Democrats. He had 2 years to get the money for the border. He didn't border wall. He didn't do it. He didn't do it because he's never going to do it. It's never going to happen. What's going to happen is everybody's going to put on a yellow vest one day and walk the streets of America. And like they did in Europe, hopefully, that when they walk the streets, the police will have to give them access to their protests, and they'll shut down traffic in the city for what maybe like they're doing it in Europe. They just walk through the streets and shut down all businesses on Saturday and Sunday. Peacefully march through the streets. That's what's coming to America. Nothing else. There's never going to be a border wall. Now we'll go back to Trump's promises and his border wall. He said he was going to build a wall and no illegal immigrants were coming into the country. He said that for 2 fucking years. And he didn't do it. What he did was nothing. He didn't. Did he make voter identification fraud system better and create the voter system identification fraud cards where you couldn't vote once or twice or 3 times or 4 times? Did he do that? The simplest thing to do. It was the simplest thing to do. All he had to do was take a piece of plastic about this big, the same size as a driver's license, and put your name on it and your fingerprint and maybe some other biometric ID, and it would be done. It was a simple thing to do. He didn't do the simplest of the things. So he allowed Congress to switch over to Democrats. And now he has a government shutdown because him and the Democrats are supposedly fighting. It's all bullshit. They're not fighting about anything. They're play acting on in the biggest scam in the history of the world. Trump wants the illegal immigrants in America. He wants them here. He needs them here. He's going to put them here. He's done nothing to solve the problem. Nothing. He's done nothing. Then you have these assholes on YouTube and these political pundits that Trump kept his promises. The jobs market went up, and this it's all. And look at this. Look at the stock market. They can make the stock market collapse and bring it right back up to the highest point ever. They can do that in a matter of hours, and they do it on a regular basis. The big guys, insider trading, say buy, buy, buy. Stocks go nuts, up high, and then they say sell. All at the same time. Within 30 seconds, they all sell it out. And the stocks plummet, like Soros did with the coal stock. He bought all the stock. He made the stock go nuts high for the coal industry. And then when it got way up high where it reached a limit, there's always a limit, he sold all of his stock at the highest possible dollar value. And so did everybody else. And then the stock went down to where it was worth nothing. And what did he do? He bought it back up. It's a game. It's a big game. And Trump is like the chess master. And this bullshit about Trump playing 4D chess, it ain't 4D chess. It's for fuck you chess. That's what it is. It's for fuck you America chess. 4D. My ass 4D. Everything that Trump does has been planned out years in advance. And why? Because there is a faction of people that control this world. A faction of people that goes beyond anybody's comprehension. Any normal working human being that doesn't have time to understand the way politics work. Like my dad would read the paper on Sunday morning. His love of life on Sunday was his garden making a good tomato sauce, and reading the paper. While he was reading the paper, that would be time for Dad. You could go into the porch where he read the paper with the available sunlight that came, the way the sun came up, and you hang out with Dad and talk and this, that, and the other thing. Then he went back to reading the paper. Then he had a cup of coffee. And my dad only had education. Well, he went to the 8th grade, but like myself, after a while, you lose your ability to understand verbs and nouns and pronouns. He couldn't write, but he could read, but he could read slow, but he understood politics, and he would read that stuff and say, look what they're doing today. This is going back into the 60s and 70s when I'm watching. My dad, who wasn't a very educated man, education-wise, was a genius when it came to politics. He knew what they were doing. He told me when we were little children that the Vietnam War was all based on politics, and they were testing their weapons. And he would know because he was in the paratroopers. I think he had 40 jumps, which is double what they normally accrue in paratroopers. And he did that, so he didn't have to work. If you did extra jump time, you had a couple of days of free time off or something like that. But he knew politics. He couldn't read well, but he couldn't write almost at all. He was the best tugboat captain that anybody ever met in life. And the only tugboat captain or captain of any kind of vessel that he said was better than him was me. So he knew certain things. He had an instinct for things. And he was talking about the Vietnam War being a complete fraud. This is in the 60s and 70s. And when it came time where I got drafted, thank God, the draft ended the day before I was going to pick the service I was going to go into. And he was right. 40 years later, 50 years later, it all came out that Vietnam was to test toys, their bombs, and their weapon systems, and their helicopters, and their planes, and their jet engines, and their bazookas, and their bullets, and their metal fatigues, and all of that shit. That's all this is. It's a big scam, and the people who invested into all those bombs and bullets, the war machine, quote unquote, they make the money. If you don't think that Trump has billions of dollars invested into war equipment and machines, you're wrong about that. He's all for these wars. He's just making it look like he's not going to do the war. Everything about Trump is a fraud. Everything about every politician is a fraud. Everything about every senator, every congressman, every lawyer, every judge, everything is a fucking lie. And you people eat it up. Here's what's going to happen. If the people ever wake up, here's what's happening in Europe right now. In France, they have these yellow vest movements, which I suggest if you can buy stock in the yellow vest industry, I would bet big money that somebody in Trump's family is already producing yellow vests somewhere in China or Japan. I would bet there's a whole industry based on the yellow vests right now. I would say that stock in a yellow vest company is going to go soaring because it's going to happen worldwide. And that's what they want, because they want the people to revolt so that they can institute martial law. And that's where Trump is headed. Trump is headed towards martial law. His end goal is martial law or some semblance of martial law where he can just take over America and blame it on the illegal immigrants that he was supposed to stop that with a wall. And now see how I'm animated. And now more illegal immigrant families came over the border since in the last 6-7 weeks, since I always tell you December 15th to December 31st is when they screw you best while everybody's on Christmas and New Year's vacation. They passed all kinds of crap allowing illegal immigrants to come into the country by stating that we gave them an interview and they passed the interview. Meanwhile, they know that the lawyers, they did a lot of this in Mexico, American Civil Liberties Union lawyers, the Vatican's lawyers, the Council of Protestants Lawyers, they all went to Mexico and said, this is what you say to the interviewer. And you got these douchebag interviewers asking them the questions that they already have the answers to and saying, okay, you qualify for, you qualify to have a hearing in America 2 years from now. Now they're backed up 3 years. And in the news, it says they might go backed up more years than 3 years. So in the meantime, an illegal immigrant woman comes into America and has 3 babies. She's here forever. Each one of those babies cost, you want to get sick? $1.1 million is the acknowledged number that each illegal immigrant child that comes into America costs America. Minimum of $27,000 a year for school for 12 years. Minimum $27,000. Just round it off to $30,000 because it's going to go up soon. So that's 12 times 3, $360,000 school only. Then you have the food, and you have electric and clothing, medical and dental, and any kind of emergency access. And then you have welfare forever. These people are on welfare for 2 generations. Some of them come to America 40 years ago are still on welfare, never got off welfare, and each one of them has the ability to go out and work off the books for $10 an hour, another $400 a week, $1,600 a month, aside from their $3,800 a month welfare check. Trump was going to stop this. And what did he do? He did nothing. Go get a yellow vest. Buy them while they're still cheap. Invest in yellow vests. If I had some loose cash, I'd invest in the yellow vest industry, or I'd start my own yellow vest company. Somebody out there is going to actually listen to this thing and say, yeah, I make sporting goods clothes. They're going to say, yeah, let's make some yellow vests. It's happening. It's going to happen. Well, I'm not even looking at my Patreon members or my Super Chat members. I don't even know that if the live stream is on. So let me go look at the live stream here. Good morning and good evening, Sasha. Good morning. White American expat. They were thinking Vietnam could have been a 100-year war. Well, they had no ability. Oh, and by the way, we lost in Vietnam. And we had the most highly sophisticated army and military personnel in the whole world, and they couldn't beat the Viet Cong. Why? Because they never wanted to. Hundreds of movies about this subject. So, White American expat is correct. Pat Mooney says, build the wall. Where's the fucking wall? Where is the fucking wall? Where is it? And now Trump backpedaled. Trump is a backstabbing politician. He wasn't, is, he always was. He was groomed to be. None of that matters. He's never going to build a fucking wall. What don't you understand? It ain't never going to happen. He's the biggest builder. Was one of the biggest builders in New York City. He understands construction from the ground up. It's a simple fucking wall. No electric, no plumbing, really no electric, no plumbing. A simple fucking modified wire 20 feet back from the wall. And that's, it could all be done with Wi-Fi now. It's bullshit. It's total bullshit, the wall. Ain't never going to happen. I've been telling you it's not going to happen. Let's just say, now you're going to have people next week saying, Trump shut down the government. He's going to get his $5.6 billion to build the wall. Well, wait a second. Hold on a minute. His original wall was 1,300 miles, 30 feet plus high, 15 feet down into the ground. It was going to be 16 to 18 feet wide, and it was going to have trams on top. A low tram to go in one direction back and forth, and a high tram so that they could travel in both directions back and forth. And every so many miles, there was going to be a station. There was going to be electronic surveillance. There was going to be some sort of sonar None of that. Now he's talking about, then he wanted a concrete wall with some razor wire on top with a bollard on top. It's called a bollard. It's like a round thing so that a grappling hook can't hang up on the bollard. But you could have a 30-foot ladder. You could build a 30-foot ladder and then with a rope jump down. And 100 people an hour could go over a 30-foot ladder, by the way. So none of which Trump ever did. So it's a moot point. Okay, so now the wall is, originally it was 1,300 miles and $13 billion. That number, that magic Illuminati number, 13. 1,300 miles and $13 billion. Then wait, or who was going? Mexico was going to pay for the wall. Well, they were going to pay for it. Mexico was going to pay for the wall. It didn't happen. Not going to happen. Never going to happen. Trump is the fucking problem, not part of the solution. You don't believe me? 10 years from now, you'll be saying that son of a bitch, Rabbi Drew Barker in the Philippines. You're going to say that son of a bitch was right. Now, why did I move to the Philippines? I like diving. I like swimming. I like scuba diving. I have hundreds of videos up of diving, swimming, and scuba diving in the Philippines. But I also saw the destruction of America coming down the pike. It's been written about for 100 years. In fact, Albert Pike was the one who wrote about the destruction of America. The quote-unquote head of the Illuminati and Masonic Brotherhoods, or whatever the fuck he was. The plan has already been in existence for 100+ years. It's not something new. I'm not focusing the shit from the universe into my brain, into the camera. I read about this 25 years ago. It's going to happen. America is fucking toast. Now, one reason I moved to the Philippines is because of their they have the strictest immigration laws in the world here, or some of them, not in the world. But you can't come into the Philippines without a passport. And if you get caught in the Philippines without a passport, you go to jail for years before your case is heard. You have to pay immigration fees every 59 days. You can't not pay your immigration fees in the Philippines. You can, even just one day late for one immigration fee stamp, and you could be exported out of the country and blackballed so you can't come back. Just one time. They don't do that, but they can do that. And if you are a repeated offender, what you do is you pay a ridiculous amount of money as a fine. So let's say your normal fee is $60 or $60 every 2 months, $30 a month. Well, now your fee turns into, for the first day, I think it's an additional $20, which is 30%. And then after 5 days, it doubles. The price that doubles to 2,000 pesos. After 30 days, I don't know what it is. But those were the numbers from 3 years ago. Trump has done nothing like that. So now we have Trump's promise that he's going to build the water wall. I get sidetracked. Okay, so he's going to build the border wall. It's going to be 1,300 miles, and it's going to be 30 feet plus high with trams on top and 16 to 18 feet wide, right? Well, and Mexico is going to pay for it, right? But that didn't happen. So then it got reduced to a concrete wall with a concrete bollard or metal bollard on top. That didn't happen. Okay. Then the wall got reduced from 1,300 miles to 600 miles. And at the rate they're building the wall, the test walls, and what they figure, it would be 45 years to build 600 miles of wall. By the rate of production of the wall in today's real time, it would be 45 years. If they started the wall tomorrow and you were born tomorrow, you'd be 45 years old and the wall would be complete. That's how fast they can build the wall. Now, could they build it faster? Yeah, but that's the rate of building right now. They could build up to 3 miles on flat level ground in a straight run in 1 year, one company, up to 3 miles. Okay, there's 1,300 miles. But when it starts to go over mountains and across streams, it's a whole different thing. They might get a mile a year done. And there's only a few companies that can build the wall. So even if there was 10 companies, and even if they built 3 miles a year, that's only 30 miles a year. There's 1,300 miles. Divide 1,300 miles by 300. Divide 1,300 by 30 miles. Let's see what that comes out to. 30 exactly. I'll just go through it. I don't like to do this, but I usually do this in my mind. But some fucking asshole complained that I made a mistake on pesos to dollars. I didn't make a mistake from pesos to dollars, by the way, asshole. What I did was I used the wrong dollar to peso ratio. So I'll do this by the numbers. 1,300. So divided by 30 equals 43.3 years. Let me get this right here. Here it is. 1,300 miles divided by 30 miles a year takes 43.3 years. You're fucked. You people are fucked. You better go get a yellow vest. Okay, Pat Mooney apparently has some great information here. I'm going to go back to the comments. Pat Mooney, 20,000 children came in alone in 1 month. And adding to Pat Mooney's testimony here, which is probably true, although I can't verify it, adding to Pat Mooney's testimony here, between December 15th and now, today, more illegal immigrant families crossed the border than in all of recorded history. More came in that 50-day period, December to January up till now. More came in the last 50 days than any other time in history. And what's happening? And they have another border. And where is all the information about the illegal immigrants on the other side of the border? Nothing. Hear nothing about it. That's Trump's way of saying, fuck you, America. Fuck you, America. That's Trump's way. And the news, that's their way of saying, fuck you, America. We're working behind the scenes to get these people into the country. Well, white American, that's a possibility. If the wall is built, it will be to keep Americans in. Because what you live in right now is a giant bullshit story. I'm surprised you people don't wear saddles on your fucking motorcycles when you go to work, in case you run into a big pile of bullshit, because that's all it is right now. John Tube, I agree. Build the freaking wall. He's not going to build the wall. Okay, so digressing back to Trump's wall. So I just showed you at the current rate of structuring a wall with the current contractors that can all agree they can build at best 3 miles a year from their construction companies until they tool up for it. Whatever the fuck. I know what tooling up for something means, but they're not going to tool up for anything, because then their contracts would have to be adjusted. Okay, so when they say 30, but he didn't build anything yet. And then you have Trump's people, lying fuckers that they are, saying that the wall is being built, but there's no wall being built. There's some sections of wall, I think they're 60 feet long. That's their version of walls are being built. They lie to you. It's a psychological warfare. Okay. Hello, Warren H. Good morning. Good evening, Warren. Thank you for stopping by. YouTube says the wall is useless, says Betamax. Not a real wall, not the wall that the people. All right, so there's now, why is Trump doing it with YouTube? YouTube says the wall is useless, says Betamax. Okay, that's quite true. The wall that Trump is promising you now as opposed to the wall that he once promised. As Israel's wall is 99.9% effective. And they shoot you if you try to scale the wall. They'll never do anything like that here in America. So they'll have people scaling the wall, and they'll be the Border Patrol agents will go back, get down, get off the ladder. We don't want to shoot you off the ladder. Get off the ladder, please. America is fucked. You don't believe it, you'll see it happen. Go buy a yellow vest. And then you know what? Oh, and wait, let's talk about funding of the wall. The American veteran, very sad story, lost 3 limbs in a worthless, fucking useless war that America has no qualms setting up and spending trillions of dollars on. Started a GoFundMe, and in 19 days, he had $19 million. At that rate, I forgot how many. At that rate, I think it was 45 years. At $1 million a day, that's another 45 years to collect enough money to build the wall. Okay, so but here's another big but we gave Israel $33 billion a year plus weapons plus planes. We gave them a lot more than $33 billion, and Trump can't get $5 billion. Give me a fucking break, will you please? Give me a fucking break that Trump can't get $5 billion. Okay. All right, so here, let's see what this fella, Pat Mooney, had some good comments. All right, so Pat Mooney, okay. Thank you for hiding that asshole, Phils. I forgot about doing that. Pat Mooney, see it how you want. You need a border or you are nuts. Keep America in. What does this even mean to most gun-toting folks on the flat earth? Bro, keep them in XD. I'm having trouble seeing. I don't know. I think my glasses are foggy. All right, see it how you want. You need a border or you are nuts. Keep Americans in. What does this even mean to most gun-touting folks on the flat earth? Keep them in XD. Probably there's a lot of meaning there. I just don't discern it right now. But I know that you're on the right side. Hey, Michael, you rock. Hope you're having a great day. Thanks. Phil's message. Yeah, that guy was an asshole, Warren H. Thank you. Okay. Pat Mooney. Oh, wait, we gave Mexico more than $5 billion to build their wall on the southern border to keep out the people that came to our border. This is a fucking joke. And Trump ain't playing 4D chess. He's playing 4D fuck you, America. That's what he's playing. Pat Mooney says they are building it, you nut. I thought you had some good shit to say. Send us a link to how many miles they have built out of the 1,300, Pat. Send us a link, Pat. Send us a link. 1/8 of bullshit has been built. 1/8 of nothing has been built. The wall that Trump promised, he didn't keep his promise. And 1/8 of nothing. 1/8 of 1,300 has not been built. You're a fucking liar. Okay, I know you can't respond, so I'll retract that. You're not a fucking liar. You're an idiot. 1/8 of nothing has been built. Show us the link. Show us the new construction. And show us how tall it is. And show us how deep it goes in the ground. And then compare that with the wall that Trump promised. 30 feet high, 16 to 18 feet wide, 15 feet deep, with turrets and railroad tracks on top, with sound and sound radar and stuff on there. Okay, so we're gonna. All right, so Pat Mooney is a fucking liberal here to fuck up my live stream. Leave him go. Let him talk about what he wants. Pat Mooney. If Warren H. Warren H. agrees. I'm sure, because if I see Warren addressing Pat Mooney, I know where this is going. So let me read it. Pat Mooney. If 1/8 has been built, that's on 162 odd miles. Okay? That's odd miles. Pat Mooney, let's just stop the bullshit. I know you can't respond, so I'm just going to call you a fucking liar until you show us a link that Trump's original wall that he was going to build and put down the Great Wall. Let's go one step further, Pat Mooney. See, you're getting your fucking time on a live stream. Do you feel good about that? You're a fucking liar. 1/8 of the fucking wall has not been built. Some of it was already there. It's antiquated beyond anybody's comprehension. And $5 billion doesn't even build 20% of a metal wall that Trump promised to be a concrete blah, 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 16 to 18 feet wide. And Pat, send us a fucking link. I want to see this. Okay, so Pat Mooney is gonna spew out some truth and spew out some bullshit. Okay, we're done with Pat Mooney's. You can leave him stay. Let him post whatever he wants. Let him post whatever he wants. Good morning. Good evening, Dennis. Okay, so let's see. Pat Mooney's provided a link. I'm going to review it. Channel blocker. By the time, get the fuck out of here. Pat, if you waste one more fucking minute of my life with this kind of bullshit, I'm going to block you. Okay? Go fuck yourself. Now you can go fuck yourself. Where's Bosco? Hello, where's Bosco? Ask where's Bosco if there's 1/8 of the border wall is finished that they're building. You fucking lying scumbag. All right, so Fish asks Bosco, are they building a wall? All right. All right, so John Tube. Let's see. We had Trump or lying Hillary to vote for. Who are we supposed to vote for? Of course, Trump. Imagine that. Lying fucking president. This country would be even in worse shape. Of course it would be in worse shape. But that's the plan. That's been the plan for a long time. But Trump or Hillary, America's going down the fucking tubes. Mossad News is not against Trump, you lying bastard. It's just they're pretending to do shit that's beyond your comprehension. It's a fucking game, Pat. Don't post another bullshit link on my fucking page either. Post a link of the fucking wall that's being built or take a fucking hike. Steve McClellan. All right, so Steve McClellan is a member of my Patreon community. 30 miles a year. How many hundreds of years did it take to build the Panama Canal? I don't know. You probably know the answer to that, but it was really quick. And it was a big undertaking. And I don't know. It wasn't a long time. I don't remember the numbers, but they have the ability to build the wall. It's not like they don't have the ability. They're just never going to build it. $700 miles in 5 years. Okay. Whereas Bosco said his brother mentioned, but will they pay the company to build 700 miles? Hey, where's Bosco? Okay. That information is probably true. If it came from you or your brother, I would say it's probably close to the truth. But everything seems to double. So the cost will double and the amount of time will probably go up double as well. So it won't be 700 miles in 5 years. It'll be 700 miles in 10 years. But taking into account the rate that the people are coming into America, can we really wait 5 years? Really? I mean, it's going to be over. America is toast. I have videos that I only post on my Patreon account of my just absolute. You think that this video is slightly off kilter? You should see some of the fucking rants I made about Obama, who are only available on my Patreon account. In fact, from this moment on, if you're not a member of my Patreon account, or because I could see the comments are never ending, if you're not a member of my Patreon account or you don't super chat me, I'm not going to mention your comment. You're welcome to comment all you want, but I'm not going to address your comment. And we move on. Or you're not a wrench. So where's Bosco is a wrench. Steve McClellan is also a super chatter and a member of my Patreon account, as is Warren H. So going back to where's Bosco's comment, if there was a company that your brother says can build, all right, hold on, I'm way off here. Okay, called Fisher Industries that can build up to 700 miles in 5 years. The big question here is, can America last 5 years at 3,000 illegal immigrants crossing the border every single day? Plus, there's a bigger caravan assembling itself in the South that's somewhere around 20,000 immigrants. They're not giving you the numbers. And neither is Trump, because Trump is the fucking problem. He's not the solution. Hillary might have been a bigger problem, but nothing is changing the agenda of the New World Order. They just got it. And I would even bet it's not even slowed down. If they wanted it sped up on any given day, they just whack Trump. The New World Order, the people that run this world, the people that control everything, they don't give a fuck about Trump. Trump says something one day, Trump wakes up and decides to tell the American people the real truth about what's going on, like he was going to do about the planes that crashed into World Trade Center 1 and 2, and then somehow destroyed World Trade Center 7 by fire. And he was going to tell you the truth about that. He never did that. You don't get it. You people don't get it. You want to stick up for Trump? Fine. He's better than Hillary. Oh, by the way, did he put Hillary Clinton in jail? Do you know that there's a hard drive that the New York City Police Department confirmed had actual live videotaped videos of child pedophilia involving Huma Abedin? They didn't show it, but the New York City, there was an article saying that we have enough evidence to put Hillary Clinton in jail. And if the FBI doesn't expose what's on this hard drive, see, they found a hard drive from Huma Abedin. This is Trump covering up Hillary Clinton's crimes, by the way. This is where we're going with this. So Hillary Clinton has been accused of being a satanic, blood-drinking witch, as has Huma Abedin has been accused of being a satanic blood-drinking witch. And the blood that they drink is from children. Okay, so those are accusations. Now, Huma Abedin had a husband, some schmuck that was texting 13-year-old girls and showing him his pecker. So the New York City Child Pedophilia Division, whatever they have, they confiscated Huma Abedin's husband's computer. And on the computer were not only thousands of emails from the supposedly classified emails, but there was videos of child sacrifice and child blood drinking, supposedly, allegedly, of Huma Abedin and Clinton. So now the New York City has this computer. Here's the computer. They have the computer in their possession. Here it is. We have it. We can see everything on the computer. And the FBI comes along and says, we want that computer. Give it to us. So somebody in New York City made a copy. They call it a screenshot, or they copied the whole computer, everything on the drive. And the FBI took the computer away, or the NSA, or whoever took the fucking computer. Bigger people than New York City. Okay, so now the computer's gone. And the FBI said they were going to release this information if it was valid. Here's video of these things happening, allegedly, and FBI. So now the New York City police agency that found the computer and made a copy of it said, if the FBI doesn't release this information showing Hillary Clinton and Huma Abedin being involved, allegedly, with child sex torture and murder, they made it pretty clear that that's the direction they were headed in. Child sacrifice, satanic rituals that allegedly Huma Abedin and Clinton were involved with. If the FBI didn't release the information, that New York City was going to release the information. And whoever was going to go to jail for that was willing to go to jail to release the classified information that would put Hillary Clinton in jail. Now, you don't think Trump knew about this? Of course he knew about this. And he knew about this a long time ago. But he didn't do anything about it because he's never going to do anything about it. So every piece of evidence that could definitely put Hillary Clinton in jail on that computer, allegedly, Trump does nothing about. Doesn't mention it. He did. And all you ever hear about in the fucking paper is Trump saying, because you would be in jail. Fuck you, Trump. Fuck you. When are you going to actually do anything about the promises that you made? That's about right, YouTube. Trump has 5 million in pocket change. Well, I don't know. He said he was worth $13 billion. Why doesn't he pay for the wall? I thought about that too, but that would be, he's not going to do that. And he could get his money back. Listen, everybody, this fucking idiots that are on the pundits, every day it's a new thing. Judge Jeannie, and Trey Gowdy, it's all bullshit. And what the fuck ever happened to the investigation of the Judge Scalise that was, no doubt about it, according to the papers, for the first 72 hours he was murdered. What happened to that investigation? Nothing. Nothing at all. They don't give a fuck. They run the show. Oh, by the way, illegal immigration right now, today, costs America $1 billion a day. Every day. Every day you wake up, illegal immigrants cost America $1 billion a day. So in 5 days, if they spend $5 billion on illegal immigrants, housing, welfare, medical, dental, schooling, and hospitalization, welfare stamps, whatever they need, $5 billion in 5 days. And they don't have $5 billion for the wall. It's a joke. They're just fucking you. bend over. Hello, Samuel. To be honest, Samuel, I didn't send out an alert. Steve McClellan, stop all welfare for this is perfectly okay. And here's what would happen with that, Steve. If they just stopped all welfare for all illegal immigrants, there'd be an uprising where you'd have to have martial law to straighten it out. The police, and what do the police do? Nothing. Did the police stop the Wall Street riots? No, they fucked with the protesters. Meanwhile, I mean, they're against you, the police, the FBI, the NSA, the fucking United States government. They want this to happen. That's the point. So if you stop all welfare, as Steve McClellan says, and find businesses for hiring them and put the business managers and owners in prison, problem solved. See what Steve just said? That's been propositioned for the last 25 years. And nobody that I ever knew of or heard of or understand has ever gone to prison for hiring illegal Mexicans and welfares and other illegals. And I'll give you a personal story that you could believe or not believe. This I've seen happen. Blah, blah, blah. They come to check on one of my jobs. The local code enforcement comes to check on my job. And I have my business license and documents in order. And I had a subcontractor working for me who had, on that particular tree cutting job, towards the end of the job, 4 men worked under me, 4 men. And then in the beginning, as many as 16 men. Every one of them, except 2, were Mexicans. Not one had a green card. And when the Border Patrol agents came and interviewed the owner of the company, not the men, they talked for a while, and the Border Patrol left. Didn't do anything. Nothing did they do. They apparently, whatever they had going on was going on. That was it. They didn't do anything. They didn't ask one person for their paper or their green card. And the men didn't run away because, I don't know why they didn't run away. They didn't run away. They knew Border Patrol came in, or the Border Patrol agents. They left the cars in the street. It was a 7-acre property. They don't give a fuck. This is going back to 2006 or 2007. They just don't give a fuck. And when I talked to the Border Patrol agents, they said they can't do anything. They can't do anything. This isn't new that they can't do anything. This has always been the way it is. They can do something. The reason of the Border Patrol agents in the Florida Keys and in Miami was when they roll up on shore, Border Patrol takes them to Crum Detention Center, gives them medical, dental, health, checks their health, general condition, gives them a driver's license, gives them papers so that they can live in America, and then gives them, if they're Cuban, $13,500 each. Every single Cuban that crosses from Cuba to America, 90 miles, gets $13,500 startup money in America. Cubans, not Mexicans, Cubans. But then they get welfare after that. You're going to have to just hold on a minute. I need to close this window and put on the aircon. It's way hot, more than I want to be hot in here. So hold on. I'm coming. Okay, here we go. Air conditioner on. Doesn't take long, though. I shut it right off. I have a 15,000 BTU air conditioner for a 12 by 12 room. Okay, so Steve McClellan's solution would stop the problem. Everybody knows this already. Trump's a businessman. It's been propositioned to do this. No one ever does it. They're never going to stop illegal immigration. And I'm going to give you a heads up right now. It's 11:09. At 12 o'clock my time, this stream ends. I have other stuff I want to do. I don't need to set my alarm clock, Dennis. I just didn't really give a shit about, I was involved with something else, trying to retrieve some files that I know I have, but I can't find them. And there's no corruption on my computer, but I just can't find an audio file that I placed on my computer a while back. Yeah, Bosco, I really want an actual list of where the wall is being built and how. That's what I really want. And if you think that it's great information for the cartels and the coyotes, and you're worried about that, or Trump is worried about it, then put the fucking military on the border and let them protect our borders instead of the borders in Syria, and let them protect it right. Let them protect it with their night gear and all their fucking toys that they have to fight wars in other people's country. Let them protect the equipment and the people building the wall. That's what I want. Yeah, I want to see that. I think that would be reasonable. And what you make a good point, but it's bullshit point, because they have fucking what we have, the United States military, by the way, and if they can't protect Americans building a wall in America, why are they protecting people on other people's borders in other countries? Why are they there protecting them when they can't do it in our own country? So I think that it's reasonable to just build the fucking wall and put the military right on the right there with all their, with tanks and mortars and fucking laser beams and 50 caliber machine guns, every fucking thing we got protecting other people's country. Bring some of it back and put it on our wall and protect the men that are building the wall in America. It's a valid point you make, but it's not something that can't be fixed. We have an entire fucking military to protect people in other countries, building walls for other countries, and we can't do it for our own personnel? Yeah, I fucking think you can. And so do you, and so does your brother. But they're not going to do that, so that would put the people at risk. But it doesn't mean that it's not a good idea to have the military there. Oh, by the way, Trump brought 6,000 people to the Mexican border and then sent half home for Christmas. I never heard of him bringing any back. So they needed 15,000, according to his first publication, that he was going to put 15,000 troops on the border for 1,300 miles. They needed 15,000. They sent 1/3 of that, 5,000. They sent half of those home. So now I have 2,500, which is 6 times less than what they need. And they never brought any back. See, Trump is just, fuck you, America. Dennis Adam, Pat Mooney is a troll. Yeah, he's a troll. Well, I can block him on today's. I can block him on. It's one of those scumbags. One of the ladyboy lovers, fucking cocksuckers that he hangs out with up in Manila. That's who he is. Literally, the cocksucker. Literally, Pat Mooney is probably literally a ladyboy, friend of the ladyboy lover. All right, so where's Bosco? CNN interviews KUS, asking them if the walls work in San Diego, and Kusi replied, yes. A short version of the story. Yeah, I saw that. One of the Border Patrol agents was on. I saw that interview. It's all bullshit. Could be 1,000 fucking interviews. It's all bullshit. They're never going to build a wall. What don't you get? It ain't never going to happen. Let me take care of this guy, Pat Mooney. Fuck these timeouts. Remove. Okay. All right, I'm trying to find an intelligent comment, something of substance or sustenance here. I'm having trouble. We do have our people that want to have their face on my live stream for whatever reason. All right. Yeah, that's right, Samuel. He's out of here. Fuck that guy. Oh, come on. Where's Bosco? Emergency declaration and come on. Come on. Even if it happens, he's never going to. It's just bullshit. You're not listening. Where's Bosco? You're not listening. It doesn't make a difference what Trump says or does. It's all going to be over for America soon. It's not going to get better. It's only going to get worse. This is what you people think. It's 2.5 fucking years. Trump's got elected. He didn't build the wall. He's never going to build the wall. Now he's building one part of a wall, and he's not, but it's not really a wall compared to what the wall was. And Mexico's, it's never going to get done. You're not getting the point of the video. Trump says, Trump says, Trump says, Trump says. He's never going to do it. Not to put you down, Wes Bosco, or your brother's information. This is the shit. Your brother got information from Trump, who lies to the American people about everything. He lied about not letting the people from the first caravan into the country. And where's Bosco? They're coming in at 3,000 people a day are being let in from the Mexican side of the border. 3,000 a day now. And now, what was 1 to 2 years for the hearing for the illegal immigrants, that they're going to go before a judge in 1 to 2 years. Now it's 3 to 4 and maybe 5 years before long. 5 years they're going to be in the country collecting welfare and earning money off the books. 5 years. And when they don't show up, which only 2% show up, Trump knows only 2% show up. He's allowing this shit to happen. He should have declared a state of emergency a year and a half ago, but he didn't do it, and he's not going to do it now. Samuel says, Michael, we do not want the killing on our front doorstep. Thank you anyways. I'm not real sure what that means, Samuel. If Trump wants to build a border wall and he has to put troops on the border wall to fucking keep the American citizens that are building the border wall safe, then he needs to do what has to be done. It's just that simple. It's not fucking hard to understand this, but none of it's going to happen. It's all a moot point. He's never going to build a wall. He might start another wall or another wall project. It's never going to get done. The plan, you are not listening, Samuel. Bosco, where's Bosco, is not listening. They don't want a wall. Trump doesn't want a wall. Pelosi doesn't want a wall. Schumer doesn't want a wall. The people that run America don't want a wall. It's not going to happen. America has been destined to fail. It's on its way down. You're not listening. All right. So, nobody is listening. Nobody is listening except to bullshit. It's all bullshit. Trump has never going to build a wall. It's just not going to happen. And what happened to his promise that Mexico was going to pay for the wall? And now that Ted Cruz came up with this fucking brilliant idea, stealing the money from The fella that brought the fella that's on trial in America, stealing the money from him. Oh yeah, that's going to go over real fine. Do you think that man who's on trial, I forget his name, do you think that man that's on trial is going to let Trump steal $14 billion from him? Do you really think that? Do you think a man with $14 billion can't get to Trump or his family? Trump is alive because he didn't steal the man's $14 billion. And theoretically, it was confiscated drug money. But who was really bringing the drugs into America? Not that man who's on trial. No, it was the fucking United States government bringing the drugs into America and selling them to the people. All for the last 30 years, 40 years. That's the way it's always been. Not something new. This is something that's been going on since I could remember. And I could remember far back. You don't get it. America has been built up to its highest plateau. It's reached its zenith. And now the plan to destroy America is in place. And all the bullshit, all the subterfuge, all the nonsense, the political rhetoric, the political pundits, the this, that, and the other senators in the Congress and the fucking Republicans in Congress, and they're all fucking you. They're all fuck you, America. They're all paid for. Who in their right mind does not see that a border wall would protect American citizens to some degree? Who in their right mind doesn't see this? And the right wall that Trump talked about, like Israel's wall, that wall would stop illegal immigration. But they also have to change the laws. And when Trump had the ability to change the law, where he had a Republican Congress and a Republican Senate, he didn't change the law because he's never going to fucking do anything for you people. Trump is, fuck you, America. Let me keep talking and breathing. And that was the man's name, was El Chapo. Okay. Yeah, Trump has reduced, as Samuel said, the wall to a barrier and a fence now. Trump is the problem. The problem are politicians. Okay, so the man's name who they have on trial, his name is El Chapo. Okay. Now they're blaming him for all the drugs, or a good portion of the drugs that came into America, but all he really did was grow the shit. The United States government did the importation of the drugs. I can't tell you. Everybody knows this. Oliver North was one of the people. He was prosecuted for bringing drugs into America and selling them, and then buying guns for the Contras. It was called the Contras. Oliver North. Just Google Oliver North Contras. Contra. It was a big scandal back in the early 80s that the CIA had a guy named Oliver North working for them, and he was the one bringing the drugs into America, and he was selling the drugs to American children, distributors that would end up in American children's hands, and in return he was taking the money from the drugs and buying guns from the American government, cash, and then giving them to the Contras to fight somebody else in another country. That was proven. But 8 years ago, they stuck his name near the let's make Oliver North president. Let's see how that goes. And there are too many people my age that remember what he did, so they took his name off the ballot. He didn't get enough votes to make it wash, but he might be on the ballot one day. Good looking guy, smart guy, military career. They'll scrub all that shit about the Iran-Contra controversy. It was a controversy. It was $1 trillion worth of drugs brought in by the CIA and the military into America. A controversy. Yeah, I would agree with you. Okay. Thank you, Steve McClellan, for the information. Iran-Contra. Steve McClellan gave us the information. It was the Iran-Contra controversy. I think they called it a scandal. Iran-Contra. Just Google that. You want to see who brings the drugs into America? America brings the... So El Chapo, who's being prosecuted for this drug distribution, only really distributed them to people like Oliver North, and as far back as Oliver North. So now, but moving past that, so this fucking genius, Ted Cruz, backstabbing scumbag politician that he is, he wants to steal El Chapo's money. I would bet big money that if Ted Cruz gets this thing going where they're going to steal El Chapo's money, I would bet big money that Ted Cruz commits suicide. I'd bet big money. A guy that's worth $14 billion that he had in cash money, do you think he can't find a way to have someone go talk to Ted Cruz and change Ted Cruz's mind? Do you really believe that? It ain't going to happen. And if they do, it's just, what do they even need his fucking money for? They can just have the Federal Reserve print $14 billion in cash and no one would ever know it. Okay, so we have 35 minutes and I'm closing this down here. And Warren says he felt sorry for Oliver North being a patsy, but he must have been paid well. You know, and yeah, okay, so Oliver North supposedly went to jail, and they have pictures of him in jail. But what if he really wasn't in jail? What if he really wasn't in jail? What if they put him in jail and they put him in a special section and everybody in that section was CIA or NSA? And at night, one night, they took him out of the cell. They made him grow a beard, let's say, and they took him and they took another guy that looked just like him, same height, same weight, and with another beard. This is just throwing some ideas around, throwing some shit around, see what sticks. What if they took Oliver North and put him in a prison cell? The real Oliver North, he's in a prison cell. All right, so now he's there. The same thing, same scenario for Clinton if it ever happens, which is not going to happen. They put him in prison. They let him grow a beard, and one night they have another guy with a beard come in and switch places with him. And the other guy's getting paid, I don't know, $5,000 a day. Because he went to Oliver North, had to be Oliver North school, and he sounds like Oliver North, and they give him a face operation and everything else. So maybe this guy's getting paid $5,000 a day, and the real Oliver North is sitting in South America with the drug cartel partying. What if that happened? You know, you think that that's unrealistic, that they switch one person for another? I don't think it's unrealistic, not with the surgeries and stuff they even had back in the 70s. But they could just get somebody that looks like them. And in 3 months in jail, you're going to gain weight, lose weight, look different, slightly different. Your hair's going to go gray. You're going to grow a beard. What if he never was in jail? So we really didn't tell the story. All right, so time for a little levity here. Warren H. mentioned that he's not light in the loafers. Huh? What? What'd you say, Mr. Obama? You are? You are. Mr. Obama, you have a penny loafers on? No, I have very light loafers on. Very light. What advantage are light loafers? They make me fly. Where would you like to fly? I would like to fly into the arms of Warren H. Warren H? You want Warren H? I want Warren H. I want to say hello. Pants fell down, Mr. Obama. I know. Warren H. does that to me. So what do you want to say to Warren H., Mr. Obama? I love you, Warren. I love you. I love you. Mr. Obama. Mr. Obama, what do you have for Warren H.? I have it all. I have all. So, in other words, you would give Warren H. your all? I'd give him everything I got, and everything he wants to give me. I would take it hard. I would take it laying down, standing up. I'm a man. Mr. Obama, there's no doubt that you're a man. Living with Mrs. Obama would take a real man to live with her, Mr. Obama. That's right. That's right. Michelle got something for you too, Warren. No, I don't want to hear about that, Mr. Obama. Ronald Webster. No. I did not hear about a twin in real life. I did not hear about, but they make up that story, Ronald Webster, they make up that story for all the astronauts that supposedly died on the Space Shuttle Challenger disaster. There's records of people that are magically appeared as the twin brothers and sisters of some of the astronauts on the Space Shuttle Challenger. I think of 7 people, 4 of them had twins, and those twins are now working in similar industries as the astronauts were trained for in college. So they make twins out of thin air nowadays. So yeah, I didn't hear about him having a twin brother, but it's really not necessary. And in 6 months, if I went on a diet, I'd look like a different person. If I grew a beard and shaved off my hair, you'd never recognize me. Okay, so good. If you can get a link for that, Ronald Webster, you're allowed. I'll ask you to post the link. If Oliver North had a twin brother, Warren H. That's right. Mr. Obama wants to give his all 6 inches of love. Warren H. Warren, you insult me. I want to give it all to you all the time. So you multiply 6 by each stroke. So you're going to have 2 or 3 miles of DOD soon, Warren. Okay. Joe Mack is here. Hello. So, Mr. Obama, you have anything else to say? Warren, I'll give you a sample. This little boot's for you, Warren. With love. From me. And Larry. There you go. Hello, Joe Mack. That's right. Warren H. is correct. It was like Christmas. They were handing out twins to the Space Shuttle Challenger's disaster crew. They were handing out twins like they were cotton candy. Krista McAuliffe got a twin sister magically, and 3 or 2 or 3, certainly 2, I think 3 others also got twins, also magically got twin brothers or sisters of the Space Shuttle Challenger disaster. So 4 out of the 7 people on this Challenger had twins, and before they took off, no one knew about any of their twins. And yet they knew everything there was to know about Krista McAuliffe as a school teacher and as an educator and her whole life story, where she grew up and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. But they never noticed a twin sister. In 27 years, I think she was 27 years old, 27 years old, and no one ever mentioned the twin sister of the most famous woman in all of history, when it comes to education and what she could bring to education. No one ever mentioned that she had a twin sister. Nobody. It's like fucking magic. It's like Christmas. What do you want for sister? What do you want for Christmas? I want a twin sister. Bang! Magically, you have a twin sister. Okay, thank you, Ronald. Ronald Webster's going to send a video of the two of them together. That would be great. But that was just a theory I had, Ronald. I don't know about this, but I'm just saying that they could create a lookalike for anybody, even if Hillary. Oh, and Hillary's never going to jail. There's enough evidence. You see what they're doing is Trump's collusion. All of that energy wasted on Trump's collusion, when in fact it was Clinton's collusion. Oh, and by the way, last week the FBI opened up a new investigation to collusion between Trump and Russia. A new investigation. It's never gonna fucking end. Warren H. He's going to make a deal with Mr. Obama. Oh, when Trump finishes the wall, I'll sleep with you, Mr. Obama. That's from Warren H. Warren, no, Warren, please, Trump's not going to build the wall. How do you know, Mr. Obama? I know. I was a president. They're fucking you. They're fucking everybody. They're fucking the world. What do you mean, Mr. Obama? Like this, Mr. Fazio. It's fuck you, America. You mean like this? That's right. Fuck you, America. You heard it here first. Warren, as the saying goes in America, your ass is safe. Thank you, where's Bosco? But it seems that we have such a small amount of people, and everybody here has already, everybody whose questions I'm addressing pretty much has already been a member of the Super Chat community. I'm not going to ask for any more, but I am going to tell you that all of this is going to end shortly. All my after 12 o'clock, I'm going to do some research on a topic of who's the biggest liar in the Philippines. We all know who that is. So, but I have to put some files together, and I'll that's one of the things I'm going to work on this afternoon. Yeah, the Sudden Twin Sister. Yeah, the book 1984 is a book about how they can, once the electronic age takes over, they can change any document on any given day at any moment, and you can't trace it back unless you have a hard copy of it. And then your hard copy becomes invalid anyway because the new document says that your hard copy is wrong. Fuck you, America. I got to get some more water. I'm thirsty. Hold on. Ronald Webster, I think that they have clones, to answer your question. I think that cloning technology was well established back in the 1950s, at least, at the latest, the 1960s. That's my opinion. Because every technology that we have now, we had 40 or 50 years ago. And now they're talking about cloning, so that gives me the impression that they had clones 50 years ago. Mr. Obama, you stay here. Mr. Obama is going to keep Warren company. David Newhouse. Yeah, fuck the CIA. Okay. David Newhouse. Here's a little fucking history lesson for you. They've been watching me for 8 years. The CIA, the NSA, I don't give a fuck. I actually used to send way worse videos than this. And they used to be allowed to have AdSense for David Newhouse's, for his personal information. I have the best and most, I have the best videos of talking about Obama. Let's just say we're talking, I have the best videos on the planet when it comes to doing shit to Mr. Obama, dolls and his pictures and posters and Obama toilet paper and Obama money and shit like that. And what I did with them, way worse than anything I've done in this video, way, way worse. I actually did stuff that today, just putting up one of some of the videos I put on YouTube 7 years ago, would get your channel. If I sent you the video and you posted it on your page, they would take your channel down, just one video. I have lots of them. And they're all on my Patreon account. So that's a given that they're watching me. It's a given that apparently they don't give a fuck what I say. I'm going to get 300 views on this because these shitheelers on YouTube, they're going to just put this file in the round file. It's going to get 3 or 4 views in the next 5 days, and that's it. No one will ever see it again. All right. Oh, so I was getting to a point. So after I made my Obama video 7, 8 years ago, 6 years ago, 5 years ago, that would totally get me thrown off YouTube now, that I only posted on my Patreon account. After I made those videos, I always kept one of the tabs on the top of the computer screen open for whitehouse.org. And I sent every video to whitehouse.org. But some of the shit I did actually made them come to visit me. And they just asked me a few questions and they let me go. All right. Warren! I'm looking at you, Warren. Jack Thompson is here. Jack Thompson is a member of my Patreon account. He will vouch for my Obama comedy videos. Hello, Daisy's at the... Daisy went to get fresh chicken. She's going to make fresh chicken curry tonight. And she has fresh coconuts. I'll show you. This is... We just walk around outside. Well, there's a private property we have the key to. Yeah, there's a guy. Apparently, there's a man on the beach, right here. You can hear the juice. There's a man on the beach that skins the coconuts. This is a skinned coconut. This doesn't have any. It would be this big. This would weigh about 4 kilos, and the trees are 70 feet plus high, and these are full of juice. Not so much this one, but this one is, unless this one's pure juice. I don't think so, but this one has a lot of juice in it, and she's going to take a hand grinder that we have, that she made, and grind this up and make chicken curry fresh, from fresh chicken with no seasoning, just a little bit of pepper and some garlic because I cut out the salt. Dennis Adam, if you're still here, I still didn't send you the email I need to send you about that Himalaya salt, but I'm working on that from a different direction. I think I mentioned it. Either way, so Daisy went to get the fresh chicken. So these coconuts skinned in this condition right here, all the material peeled off and almost polished. I think she gives them 10 pesos each. So 20 cents a piece, these cost, which is really cheap. Because if I had to do that work, let's just say I wanted to do that work. Let's say I wanted to skin it and make it look like that. I couldn't do it in less than 20 minutes. With all tools, vices, grinders that I have, I couldn't do it in 20 minutes. I'd have to buy a different disc for my big grinder, set up a special clamp to do it, and they do all of that by hand and a wire brush. Go figure. 20 cents? Let me have 2 of those, please. Well, Jack, we know that you work really hard, so if you don't stick around, that's okay. But thanks for stopping by. David Newhouse. Yeah, David Newhouse. I gave up caring a long time ago. There are things about me, David Newhouse, that I can't talk about, but things I understand about the government and the way things work that I can't talk about. There's just things I know. It doesn't go under the heading of things I know by Michael Fazio. It goes under the heading of things I've seen by Michael Fazio, but I don't talk about that. That shit would get me in trouble. That shit would get me in trouble. It wouldn't be a if, and or a but. That shit would get me in trouble. But I don't talk about those things. And one time, I tell people this all the time, just one time I mentioned a first name and a street, not even a cross street, and in an area of New York City, and the phone fucking rang. I can't tell you who was on the other end of the phone, but the first thing I hear is, "What the fuck are you doing?" What the fuck are you doing? And I get another. There were several messages. What the fuck is going on? The fuck! I only just mentioned a street and the first name of a man. This is going back in 2010. And I heard from people that I hadn't seen since the early 90s. That's how I know people are watching me. I just don't give a fuck, and I don't give up any of the real information anyway. Ronald Webster says, has anyone read the files on JFK? He was a clone. Look for the lost files. You can read it there. Okay, I wouldn't doubt it. That, you know, Hitler, not Hitler himself, but the doctors that worked in Germany, they were all Jewish doctors. Pretty much Jewish people were the smartest people in Germany when it came to business, finance, education, and doctors. So Hitler recruited a lot of those doctors, and he actually started with the genetics of modern day genetics and DNA testing and blood, all that blood work and stuff like that. Hitler was actually responsible for a lot of that, a lot of medical breakthroughs. Of course, he did this with no regard for human life. So he kind of was inhumane about the whole thing. But you know what? I'd bet big money. I'd bet big money that in these underground installations, there are children born and bred for the purpose of experimentation that never see the light of day, that they don't know that there's a world where they might be born. It's like a movie. Let's say it's like a movie. I'd bet big money that there's places bigger than, let's say, Madison Square Garden, like a military installation, underground section of an underground installation where you walk through the door and only if you have a certain classification or a certain whatever pass, right? And when you walk through the door, that everything in that door is experimentation on humans and dogs and animals and hybrids and cloning. I'd bet big money that there have been tens of thousands of births in those underground installations of babies, and some of them may be educated to go to other planets on technology that they haven't released or don't admit to, and some of them might be bred simply for experimentation. And I bet big money that they just take these children at whatever age they think necessary and take whatever human parts or fluids or whatever. There's some kind of adrenaline gland that children excrete when they're under torture that it gives these Satanists some kind of energy inside their head, like snorting cocaine, right? People that snort cocaine, they're like this, and they're like, and they take a couple of, I'm talking about good coke. I'm not talking about shit, okay? And you see them go like this, and then all of a sudden they're happy and they're more energetic, and they're not a lot of it, but just, and they want to do a job and they become more creative. It happens. So they test all of this shit out. Like the CIA is responsible for the creation of crack cocaine. I read that. I believe it. And when it was being sold on the street, there were fucking people walking around in Brooklyn with bags, like 1 kilo Ziploc bags with fucking rocks and chunks and scales set up on the side of the street. And all of this was going on while there was a police car over there and over there and over there. And the police were only there to make sure the drug dealers didn't get robbed. I believe they do all this shit underground. And I believe that it's been going on since before World War II. But let's just say that it was started in World War II. Let's just say that's when it started. Well, after the war, America took all those doctors and scientists and something called Project Paperclip, but that's just one name of 1,000 things that they did. And I believe that they have these huge installations the size of Madison Square Garden, size of any huge sports stadium, all sectioned off with all this electronics and gadgetry to test and to perform tests for cloning and hybrid. I believe they do this. You see it in the movies 20 years ago in movies, and you see it for 50 years, you see it, but 20 years ago, they really got sophisticated. And I think that's what they do. I think they're always doing this. So what I'm talking about on YouTube is really not fucking worthy of any note, right? Worthy. It's not my discovery, let's say. I didn't discover this shit. I just believe they're doing it. And if I believe something inside my mind that they're doing it, it's probably because they're doing it. Oh, yeah. And by the way, when I used to do astral projection, I went into some of those facilities and saw shit that you wouldn't believe. Of course, to most dumb people of the world, astral projection can't be done. So, but it can be done. You can move into your mind and move out of your body and go anywhere you want in zero time, no time. So if you want to travel to California to see a cousin, you close your mind down, you get into your astral body, and you're in California. There's no time between the time the thought starts and the time you're there. And the same goes true if you want to go see what it looks like inside the sun. Instantly, you're inside the sun. And the same goes true anywhere you wish to go in the universe. If you want to go seek out another planet with other life forms, which, by the way, there are many, you can do that too. Of course, I can't prove any of this because it's only in my mind. But what I believe in my mind is things that I've seen inside my mind. So, and my mind is vast. And to even bring what we call a neophyte when it comes to astral projection or psychic phenomena, to bring a neophyte into my vast mind, you would just get lost, and I'd never be able to find you. And back to the videotape. Blue Rose is a member of my Patreon community, says that the videos are well worth it for people that decide that they want to see. Now, and right now, to see my old Obama comedy and political stuff that would get me thrown off of YouTube and like that, done the next day. Stuff that I did to Obama, that stuff that only some, you can't even imagine some of the stuff I did to Mr. Obama. So, and right now there's 500 videos that are not posted on YouTube in my Patreon account. It's okay, Jack. I'm going to end this live stream in 5 minutes, Jack, so say what you want. You know, one thing I want to say, though, $5 for a coconut in Australia, you must be nuts. No pun intended. All right, Ronald, I've given you quite a bit of time and you've asked some really intelligent questions, but I want to get done with this, and you're not a member of my Super Chat or my Patreon account. So I'm going to pass up your questions. I'm not, I said I wasn't going to deal with anybody's questions that not a member of my Patreon account. I really need to enforce that better because this takes up too much of my day for actually for it to be worth anything. So you are welcome, Ronald, to keep asking your questions. I've answered 3 of them. I think from now on, if you'd like a question answered, I suggest you become a member of my Patreon account, and then I can talk to you in person on the phone. Okay, no hard feelings. You give good questions. You have some good thoughts there. I could answer your questions. I could spend 3 fucking days answering your questions, but for what purpose? I've already gone over this information. Okay, so go back and hit so well I guess I could give out the Patreon link again. If you want to become a member of my Patreon community, fine. If you don't want to become a member of my Patreon community, fine. Eventually, these live streams will just be for my Patreon members, wrenches, and Super Chat. So there's the link. I posted it again. If you forget that to see where the link is, you can go. You can go to my homepage and click the orange ball, which is my Patreon account, at the top of the page under the eagle. There's an eagle up there, and there's 5 buttons you can push. The orange dot is the Patreon account. Okay, so back to Blue Rose, who's a member of my Patreon account. Dumbs. Okay, so Dumbs, from my own personal experience, truth. Like you said with astral projection, as someone who's seen and even experienced that, Montauk type of experiences, harsh reality with the truth. You people have no fucking idea what they're capable of. An astral projection has been going on for thousands of years. The Hindus, Buddhists, Zen masters, they all do that stuff. It's all real. It's not like it's some kind of shit that only a certain person could do. You know, astral projection meditation, it takes a long time to do that. It takes years, sometimes hours of training, and sometimes years. But anybody can do it. It's not that fucking hard to do. You just have to have the time, the place, the energy, the wish, the want, the will, the desire. And then once you achieve it, you might not even like it. You might not like what you see. So astral projection, the underground dumbs, the military installations I just said that I believe exist, all that shit's real. Not just real inside my mind. It's real because it's real. What do you think they do with all that fucking money that they rob you every fucking April 15th for? All right, so Warren H. Okay, no, thank you. Thank you, Ronald Webster. Okay, no, thank you for understanding. Okay, I have 100 more comments, and actually I'm out of time. So let me try to get through them. Thanks for understanding. Okay, so Warren says he believes we have an exchange program of sorts with ETs who only work on highly secret operations. And that's been going on forever. There is nobody that has a higher military clearance that doesn't know that to be the truth. Nobody. There is, and I can't talk about certain things, but I can't even mention certain people's names. Even they're dead. I can't mention certain things that I've talked to them about. And that's because I still have to go back and do things in America. So it would probably not be beneficial. Okay, that almost looks like a coconut. I don't know what's in the canned coconut juice. I've lived in Florida for since 1995, a little earlier than that, and then the Philippines. So I don't think I've ever tasted canned coconut juice. I had coconuts. Shit, I had 12 coconut trees in front of my house. If I didn't feel like buying food, I could eat coconuts for a year and never run out of food. Okay, so. Okay, back down to Ronald Webster. Thanks, Ronald, for understanding. Okay. Oh, David Newhouse has some truth there. Okay, so all right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm gonna try to copy down all the comments because the genius that I am, yes, I did. I got them all. One thing I learned. Okay, so here I copied down all the comments. There have been no super chats, so there will be probably no live stream tomorrow, which has not much to do with the super chats, but I have something else I wish to do, and I'm going to do it. Okay. File. Come on, open up. There we go. New file. Blank file. I'm moving out of this live stream, so there's not going to be any more 4-hour live streams. Well, I guess I could state certain things that would make a live stream longer, but I'm not going to do that. So we have what was the name of this video? Let's get the Let's get the comments. Okay, so the live stream is officially over. You guys can say goodbye to each other, hello to each other, exchange email addresses if you want, exchange telephone numbers for all I care. Actually, the best place to do that, exchanging telephone numbers and stuff like that, between myself and any other member of the community would be on Patreon. Now, I only have 24 Patreon members. Steve McClellan was the last member to become a member of my Patreon community. Thank you for that, Steve. And that was probably 8 or 10 days ago. So, you know, I should just cut it down to Patreon members, wrenches, and people that have provided super chats. I really should do that. Like I don't, if I don't gain anything from this, to spend 2 or 3 hours a day to do research and another 2 to 4 hours a day, damn it. Okay. Another 2 to 4 hours a day on working on these things, there's no reason to do it. I know who you are, Ronald Webster. I remember your name. That's why I answered your questions. You've been a long-term member of... you've been a very long-term member of... Where is this? Of my community, you know, YouTube community. Of course, I remember your name. So, not that I don't remember, I just don't have time to answer all of these questions. And plus, a lot of the stuff that you asked, valid questions, valid statements, but a lot of it's been done already. Okay, so. Let's see if it sticks now. Where is Daisy? Where is Daisy May? Daisy! Daisy! There we go. And we just need the title of this bad boy. All righty. Good night, Ronald Webster in Scotland. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you. All right, yeah, Trump. Thank you, Blue Rose. Yeah, that's right. Getting back to the title. You guys want to make money? I don't know. You know, you'd have to pick the right company, but I'm telling you, my honest opinion, that if you pick the right yellow vest manufacturing company, you'd be making big money soon. Because I think that the yellow vests are coming to America and a town near you. All right, so that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Goodbye, Blue Rose. Thank you for I just posted that. Okay, everybody. Humping per me. Got to end this. I have like several other things I wish to do today. Oh, Dennis Adams. Dennis Adams. I owe you an email. I'll do that email now. Bye-bye, Warren. Bye, Warren. Bye. Warren. Warren. I love you. I love you, Warren. I love you. Warren. I'm coming. I'm coming. All right. Obama coming. Warren, where are you, Warren H? Warren, did you get the bye-bye YouTube, bye-bye Joe Mac. Warren, did you get my email with my Skype? Warren H? Did you get Skype set up? That's 2 questions. Okay, great. Okay, yeah, that's something I forgot. And Dennis Adam, I'm going right here, right now. Let's see. All right, that page is open. Oh, damn it. I have so many windows open, I have to close something. But I have there's something I have. Well, it doesn't matter. All right, let's get this. The Drudge Report, right? All right. Something I have to do is go pee. Back, I'm on the Drudge Report. Trump confronts, still up on the top. Trump confronts prospect of non-stop political war. This is Trump's way of saying, fuck you, America. I'm going to fight with the Democrats for the next 6 years. Fuck you too, America. All right. All right, you guys do that, and you know what I should have did? You know, I should have did a lot of things. Alrighty. Celestial Cecilia, I know your name. You're not a member of my Patreon community. I'm going to start not answering questions. But you're welcome to ask anybody else if I miss America. But thanks for the question. God bless. I'm Bing Permy from Michael Fazio and Daisy May in the Philippines, who went out to buy fresh chicken at 9 o'clock. She's only gone 2 hours. She might have went right straight into the city to pick up other stuff. All right, I'm Bing Permy. Bye-bye. Jack, be careful. It's supposed to be snowing out there. Yes, baby. And I have the air conditioner on. That's right. Oy vey and shalom from Rabbi Joe Barker in the Philippines, baby.